Alright guys, this is laws of exponents, the product property. There are multiple laws of exponents, so the way you have to handle them when you're multiplying and dividing and all those things. The examples that I'm going to give you in the videos tend to be more simple than what you're going to see in class. But if you have any questions, let me know. You always want to remember that you are going to be dealing with all the different properties at one time. So these videos are going to be kind of short with each independent property, and then you can just watch them in whatever order you need to get through the work. Here's the product property. What we're doing is when you have two variables that you're multiplying together, that each have exponents. Now, one of the number one rules that you'll see throughout most of these videos is that when you are applying these properties, you have to have the same base. So the base is the number here at the bottom, and then your exponent is whatever you have at the top. So like if you have, something like 2 to the third, your base here would be 2, and your exponent or your power would be 3. Okay, so when you are applying the product property, you have to make sure that you have the same base. So the way this works is if you have something like a cubed times a squared, what you're going to do is you're going to add those exponents so that you end up with a to the fifth. So this is a little breakdown of what's happening. I don't need to see you do this for all your work, but if it helps you, I recommend that you do it so that you can kind of get the feel of what's going on. So when you have a to the third power, that means that you have a times a times a. So these two are the same thing. When you have a squared, that's a times a. So when you're multiplying them together, you have something that looks like this. You could actually count them. When we're multiplying, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a's, okay? So you know that it's the same thing. So that's kind of where this comes from. Like I said, if you need to break it down, do it. If not, then just know that you're going to add these exponents up here. So I'm just going to give you a bunch of examples. Here we have x squared times x to the fifth. So that's x to the 2 plus 5 power, which is going to give you x to the 7th power. Okay. When you are doing when you're doing the product property, you always want to multiply your coefficients first. Okay, so we have 2r squared times 4r cubed. So first we're going to have 2 times 4, which is 8. And then you're going to go ahead and multiply your variables. So r to the 2 plus 3, which is going to give you 8 to the 8 times r to the 5th power. Okay, and it's just practice here, guys. Here, my coefficient is 1, so we have 2 times 1, which is 2. X, there is no x over here, so it's just going to carry over x cubed. Here we have y times y squared. That exponent is 1, so you have y to the 1 plus 3. It's going to give you 2x cubed, y to the 4. Okay. What else? I have this example up here. You have 4 times 4, which is 16. Here we have two variables. So we have u squared times u. This is u to the 1, so you have u to the 2 plus 1. And then v, 4 plus 2. Okay, you're multiplying only like terms together. All right, so then you just simplify it. 16u cubed v to the 6th. All right, and I'm just going to keep going. So here, coefficient is 1. So we're left with 3 times 1 is 3. X squared, there's no x over here, so it's just going to come over. Y, this is squared, this is to the 1. Both of these are to the 1. Okay, so y to the 2 plus 1 times z to the 4 plus 1. So then you're left with 3x squared, y cubed, z to the 5th power. Okay. Sometimes you'll see them when they're not in order. So I have jk, and here I have khj. The order doesn't matter as long as they're being multiplied. If you're adding, then it's a little different. But since you're multiplying, it doesn't matter, and it's up to you what order you want to list them in. Okay. So we have 3 times 4 is 12. We'll do j. We have 2 j's, so the 2 plus 2. K squared times k squared. And then we have an h left over, so times h cubed. And then you just bring it down. 12 j to the 4, k to the 4, h cubed. All right, guys, that's it. If you have any questions, let me know or shoot me a reminder.